Alright. Well, how's everyone doing? I just did 2 episodes for the YouTube channel, and I'm just going to kind of talk about something that's going on with me. Um, something that plan that I've been looking at, mulling around, maybe putting it on here. Maybe you guys think it's a good idea and you want to do it yourself. Um, best One of the best things you can do with your money is probably invest in real estate. I have crypto, I have stocks. I'm really hoping that Dogecoin, if that goes to $1, $500,000, that'll get a lot of things started that I want to do. Um, but right now, I've been really researching real estate, specifically rental properties, to make that infinite return income. Um, One thing that, like, I have Excels that I've been going through all the expenses, income, net operating income, debt. Those are the four main categories when you're looking at profitable business. Your income, how much money is coming in, then expenses, how much money is going out. Put those together, you got your NOI, net operating income, um, and that's going to help drive how much debt or loans you can get. A bank's going to look at that. It's kind of like your credit score. Um, and then debt. A lot of rich people have debt. That's where their money comes from. One of the places specifically is a 20-unit townhouse. Uh, it's 5 houses, 4 houses per building. Um, right now, the rent is only at like $800 a month, which is below value, or it's about average. They're all 2 bedroom, 1.5 bath. But they all have like old school shag carpet, and they're outdated. I looked at if I was able to purchase this property, which is 1.6 million. It seems like a lot, but when you go through it, a lot of apartment buildings don't finance with their own money. Um, that's one thing that I never really thought about. There are loans out there. Hell, crowdfunding right now. Last couple of years, crowdfunding is huge. And if you can get enough money for that down payment, you can do it. But if I redid the carpets to hardwood, or even just hardwood in like the living room area, family area, whatever you want to call it, and left the carpet in the bedrooms, you could justify an increase in the pay, or the rent. So even if I just went to $900 a month, which is still very good for the area, they all have garages, in a pretty decent location in the city, near McConnell Air Force Base. It's all buildings are within their own little cul-de-sac, so you can even gate off the property, and that adds a layer of security to your property. So 900 each a month, 18,000 a month for all of them. Right now it is 100%. 100% are rented right now, so it'll be 18,000 a month. $216,000 a year of income based off of rent. Now, expenses, you have landscaping, maintenance, your insurance, your taxes, trash pickup, admin costs for a manager, accountant, staff, maintenance staff, and all that. The company that I'm looking at buying from, they already have it all kind of detailed out, so you can see what they're currently spending. So they're currently spending $148,423 a year. That still leaves a net operating income of $67,000. Now, as your first rental property, and what I would look at doing, um, if the manager, accountant, or anyone didn't want to stay under new management, because most times rental properties have their own management contracts that other companies employ. I would look at being the manager or the accountant for it. So now that extra $42,000 or $36,000 a year can be put back into that net operating income. That's what you're left over with. Now, your debt, if let's say you use the loan and you got a $1 million loan, well, you're going to take 30 to 40,000 of that NOI and you're going to put it into that debt to pay it off. That's still going to leave you with 20 some odd thousand dollars profited. And then that's where I can use that money to start another complex. Use that to get that next loan. There's a lot of great YouTube videos you can watch. It's really interesting to learn real estate. And I've learned a lot just in the last about 2-3 weeks, especially with tax season this year. Hell, the rich stay rich because they are freaking smart. It's not because they evade taxes or anything like that. They know how to use the system. You can't blame someone for knowing how to play the system. We're just not on their level. There's one thing you can do is things. I'm just trying to move my screen around so I can kind of see it a little bit more. There's so many tax incentives out there that normal people we don't really think about, but businesses, that's where they get their money back. Depreciation of their assets. If it's an apartment building, the depreciation of that property can be written off every year. That saves them money, a lot of money. Repairs you have to do on that rental unit can be written off in taxes. One of the biggest ones right now, especially with the new presidency, green building incentives, using cleaner energy. Things that we don't always think about. Using solar power instead of natural power or coal, stuff like that. You can get credit for doing it, creating that green initiative. In the long run, that's just saving them money, giving them more money to write off in taxes that they get back. So that $67,000 NOI can go to $80,000 a year NOI. Who doesn't want $80,000 every year? That's just extra money in your pocket. Now, if you're smart, you're going to use that $80,000 and get another property going or another investment opportunity. Because now, let's say that once that one gets going, that one's creating an NOI of $30,000. Well, you still have the first one that's generating $60,000. Now you have another one doing $30,000. You're at $90,000 NOI that you've just created. You reinvest that more, and that's where all these big companies, successful companies, started out. And one of the big ones that I've been watching right now, I think it's Rich Dad Poor Dad. He talks a lot about real estate investing and using OPM, other people's money, bank loans, stuff like that, crowdfunding. If you get your NOI high enough, well, making $100,000 a year NOI, hell, you get a $5 million loan from a bank, 50,000 a year, 60,000 a year paying it back, you're still 30,000 NOI at the end of the day. You still got 30,000 plus in your pocket. And now you've got that third company that you spent $5 million on, which, hell, if I just base it off of the initial property that had 20, that was for 1.5 million. So multiply that by 3. That'd be over $180,000, $190,000 NOI from that third property. So now between the three properties, you're sitting at $250,000 a year NOI. You can use all those, pay off all the loans you had, and then now you're just sitting on three properties at $250,000 a year. I wish I had more knowledge of this years ago, while I was stationed overseas or while I was still active duty, to be able to realize the amount of money that I just let slip through my hands. If I could have or would have invested in a property, and I have friends who did, one of them's in Kansas, had an apartment complex in the middle of, I say middle fucking nowhere, but he was still active duty. He had a apartment complex that he owned. On the weekends, he'd go up, do any maintenance that he needed to do, refurbish, rerun them out. Hell, to him, that's profit. At the end of the day, that NOI goes right back into his pocket. You get enough of these businesses, that's where it just keeps building. You have a lot of people out there that try to just flip, which, okay, flipping houses, apartment, property, whatever, and you can make money doing it. You can also lose money because the market could crash, and now you're stuck with a property that you've got to pay. You've got to pay for it. If no one's in it, you've got to pay for it. With like an apartment complex, if the market, property, retail, real estate market crashes, just hold on to the property. Everyone's still paying you rent. It's just money in your pocket. Now, if you want to move or you're done with the game, yeah, you can sell it all out. You have all the documents to prove, hey, this is the NOI, just like I'm doing. I'm looking at the previous owners' statements to go, okay, it's profitable. To me, it looks good. Obviously, being near the military base, I'd probably aim it more towards housing military families or veterans, but it could be for everyone. But real estate, I think, is a smart investment if you can get into it. I don't know many veterans that can get a multi-million-dollar loan to start out. One of the things that I've been floating in my head while trying to figure out how I can do this is try to create a company that employs and teaches veterans the real estate business, to be able to get them hands-on so they can understand, like, hey, invest smart. Because then if I can get just one, like the first or the second company, or location that I've been looking at. One of them has the NOI of about 30,000, the other one has 60,000. If I could get just one of those, I could be satisfied with just making that extra 30, 40,000 a year residual and infinite income. Because as long as I own the property and I keep it rented out, you're going to keep getting that NOI. And that's without adding in any of the tax incentives or credits. Those will just increase the amount that you get in the end. So, hell, with the 30,000, add on the disability pay, I could bring in 60,000, 70,000 or more a year. We're just being me. Who wouldn't want to make that kind of money? And it's out there. It just takes that hard work, the legwork, the research, and we all know, living in whatever state you're in, we all know the certain areas. Like hell, in Vegas, we know that if you live right next to the Strip, yeah, it's gonna be cheap. It's not a safe area. It's pretty run down, crappy, busy all the time. However, I live almost out in Summerlin. I pay almost twice the rent, but it's a hell of a nicer area than down behind the Strip. And I can go outside the door, I don't really even know I'm in Vegas. You got the nice mountain range in the background. Downtown Summerlin's like a 3-minute, 4-minute drive right down Sahara. So it's nice. We all know that's different in every area. The area that one of the properties that I'm looking at is not a great area. However, it is in an opportunity zone, which gives you extra tax credits and support from the city and state. So there are benefits and more tax incentives for doing opportunity zones. The other one is located in a good area. It's a little bit more expensive, but you're still right on Rock Road. You're just far enough away from the hustle and bustle that is nice. Like when I lived there, if you were above 21st Street, like on that rock, east side, Wichita, you're in a better area. If you're downtown, different ball game. So it's not in a perfect area, but it's in a better than average location. So yeah, I'd recommend getting into real estate if you're not already. If you are, let me know. Give me some tips, inside knowledge. I'm always trying to learn. I've been going at this nonstop now for almost a month, just constantly watching videos, learning, looking at real estate licenses and business license, all that stuff. Hell, I've even gone and I've been looking at how much trash removal, trash pickup, stuff like that actually costs in Wichita, so that I could put on my Excel what the actual cost is. Same with how much would it cost to refloor parts of every unit. Like, I've been really hitting this one hard, playing around with the different budgets. The best one for me is if I had actually run the property while I got my feet wet, and that would save me almost $100,000 in employee fees. if I just used a outside contractor if I needed maintenance done. A lot of these units haven't had any issues in the last 4 years. I think one of them did have a broken window or something that the previous owner just fixed on the spot. He has maintenance that goes there once a week or twice a week and mows. Being right off the main road, the road is plowed by the city. He does have a snowplow or a snow blower, and he has a maintenance worker that if it does snow and he gets I think he had like, if it gets like an inch or more, they go and make a round so everyone's walkways are plowed, and that's a part of the complex's contract with them, with the renters. So there's little things like that. Then you can go, okay, well, let's say if he's going every like 5 times, same with trash pickup. If they're doing trash pickup 3 times a week, well, if you can get away with 2 times a week or once a week with only 16 units, and you have 2 large bins, instead of it costing you $1,000 a month to get the trash removed, you can knock that down to $500. You could save money. The real estate moguls are always looking at ways to save money. And I mean, I've lived in complexes and stuff that, hell, the trash bins are always empty because you hear the trash man coming and picking stuff up every other day. To me, that's a waste. But I've also lived at some that the trash is always overflowing. Like, hell, here in the place I'm here in Vegas, the trash is always full, the trash bins. So could they use some of their NOI and get one more trash pickup? Yeah, I think so. And then now your residents are happier. People aren't just tossing trash on the ground, which is now blown all over the property. In turn, the maintenance is spending more time going around and picking up trash across the property. So everything can play into each other to save in the long run. Well, it's getting kind of hot right now, and I've been sitting here for a while doing the videos. I gotta finish my schoolwork. I got one of my hospitality books in the back. Looking at the screen, I guess I gotta move some stuff around in the room. But yeah, I'm gonna use this channel to also bounce ideas off you guys. Maybe we can do something, maybe we can't. Who knows? It's an outlet. So y'all have a great week. Hopefully you had a good Easter weekend, austere, whatever you want to celebrate, whether it's Jesus, Norse, whatever. Hope you guys had a good one. Take it easy.